For today's lesson, let us learn how to talk about the weather in Tagalog. Discussing the weather is a popular method to break the ice and initiate small talks with others. However, in the Philippines, this is not only practical but also culturally significant, since in the country the weather patterns can be quite unpredictable. Thus, being able to communicate with others about the weather can help you be knowledgeable about what to expect and prepare necessary items such as an umbrella. Whether you're meeting new people, chatting with neighbors, or having a casual conversation with colleagues, being able to discuss the weather in Tagalog can help enhance your connections and help you navigate daily interactions with ease. Let us begin by learning how to ask about the weather. So, there are two ways to ask about the weather in Tagalog. First is by saying, "Kamusta ang panahon diyan?" or "How is the weather there?" So you would use this if you want to ask about the weather in a specific place that is far from you, of course. Let's say you want to ask about the weather in Iloilo. You can say, "Kamusta ang panahon diyan sa Iloilo?" Another way to ask about the weather is by saying, "Ano ang lagay ng panahon?" or "What is the weather like?" So you would use this if you want to ask about the condition of the weather. So if you want to ask about how will the weather be later, you can say, "Ano ang lagay ng panahon mamaya?" or "What is the weather like later?" Here are some of the words that you can use to describe the weather in Tagalog. First is the word weather. In Tagalog, it is panahon. However, panahon can also refer to time or a specific moment or period or era in history or life. In this context, panahon refers to the condition of the atmosphere or the climate at a specific time and place. So if you're going to use panahon or if you see panahon in a sentence, it is also important to take note of the context. Other words to describe the weather are the words mainit for hot, maaraw for sunny, malamig for cold, makulimlim or maulap for cloudy, maulan for rainy, mahangin for windy, may bagyo for stormy. In this one, bagyo means storm or typhoon, kulog or thunder, and kidlat or lightning. Here are sample phrases that describes the weather in Tagalog. First, malamig ang panahon tuwing Disyembre, or the weather is cold during December. Another, mainit ang panahon kapag summer kaya maraming nagsiswimming. Or, it is hot during the summer season, that's why a lot of people swim. Lastly, umiinom pa rin ng mainit na kape ang mga Pinoy kahit na mainit ang panahon. Or, Filipinos still drink hot coffee in the hot weather. Now, let us try practicing what you've learned from today's lesson. How will you describe the weather in this picture? If you said, "May baha sa kalsada," or "There's flood on the road," then you're correct. What about this picture? How will you describe the weather? One of the possible description is sobrang init tuwing tanghali, or it is extremely hot every afternoon. Let's try another one. How will you describe the weather in the picture? You can say, "Makulimlim ang langit, mukhang uulan mamaya." Or, in English, "It is cloudy. It looks like it's gonna rain later." For the last practice, how will you describe the weather in this picture? Well, you can describe it as sobrang lakas ng ulan or it is raining very hard. Since we were able to answer the practice questions, let us now try answering the assessment. For this, match the Tagalog weather descriptions with its English counterpart. For the last assessment, complete the sentences with the translation of the weather words.